On the savannah, the throne is perpetually unclaimed. It changes hands either with a decisive blow from a reckless newcomer or as punishment for the unruly from seasoned veterans who have weathered hundreds of battles. As night falls, who will utter the final gasp? Wild Savannah. The rise of the Lion Alliance. Welcome to the Serengeti, where the arid African savanna stretches out like an ancient, sun-baked hide. On the southern edge of this plain, each roar is not just an echo in the night, but a declaration of territory. And it is where red dust settles on the footprints of past generations that a young lion alliance emerges from the shadows, carrying hunger, the scars of early life, and the desire to claim land they were once forbidden to touch. Under the scorching sun, enough to turn any creature into a giant barbecue feast, three figures silently cross the dry grassland without a word. They were no ordinary pride of lions, but a powerful alliance of males forged in years of exile on the fringes of the land. Back in time, the savannah had never welcomed them kindly, for at the tender age of 2, they had been banished from their pride by their elders. Their exile had brought them together, allowing them to grow up together, witnessing each other's proud, bleeding wounds. It was an immortal part of the memories of future kings. There was no trace of youthful innocence in their eyes, only the unwavering determination of those who had survived every desolate stretch of land. Emerging from that dark past, they are no longer the naive warriors who only knew how to hide behind their mothers. Only the ironclad determination of those who have survived lands that mercilessly abandoned them remains. The leader possesses a thick, black mane like an abyss. It is not a symbol of hatred or glory, but a sign of a male entering his prime, old enough and strong enough to reclaim what has been lost. Beside him, are two equally powerful adult male lions. They are not blindly subservient, but part of an alliance that has helped each other survive outside their comfort zone. Researchers estimate that the control of an alliance of male lions usually lasts only a few short years. After that, if they age, are injured, or no longer patrol widely enough, a younger group of males may emerge to take territory and replace them. The path ahead led them into the heart of a land ruled by a figure embodying the remnants of an old generation. Yet, with the experience gained from hundreds of battles, they knew he wouldn't be easily overthrown. When the young lions and their old leader clashed, the atmosphere thickened, the entire plain seemingly holding its breath on the brink of life and death. There was no room for compromise. Suddenly, a deep, guttural growl ripped through the air. A fierce confrontation ensued. Despite possessing the resilience of a survivor of countless battles, the old male lion could not withstand the ferocious strength and the tight encirclement from three sides of the new alliance. Pressed between multiple attacks, the old ruler lost ground. When the red dust settled, the roar that had once dominated the land had vanished. The battle ended, leaving the newly conquered land stained with blood and tattered fur. From this moment on, the young alliance were no longer anonymous nomadic ghosts. They had legitimately taken control of this harsh land. But reaching the pinnacle of power was only the first step, for the real challenge awaiting them was securing their territory against thousands of other watchful eyes. The next morning, the early sunlight spread like a carpet across the dew-covered grass. In the distance, a herd of zebras moved slowly across the plain. Protected by the vigilance of the entire herd, zebras were never easy prey. Their speed, ability to change direction suddenly, and powerful kicks could break the jaws of any animal that came into contact with them, turning each chase into a dangerous gamble. But it was this very challenge that would prove whether the lion's new order truly worked. Following the signal of the leading female, the herd dispersed in silence, their bodies lowered among the withered grass, every muscle tensing as they awaited the final closing distance. Then a golden figure leaped from the ground. The zebra herd scattered, their hooves pounding the plain like thunder, kicking up a curtain of red dust. The young prey swerved sharply and launched a counter kick, but that very change of direction pushed it out of formation, straight into the line of the second lioness. When the last gap was closed, the hunt ended with the herd's first victory. It was not just a meal, but proof that those who had just taken territory were beginning to know how to hold it. The victory over the zebra was only the first step. To prove their invincible fighting ability, they needed a greater challenge, a prey that would strike fear into the hearts of the entire savannah. The African buffalo. By the dried-up waterhole, the buffalo herd gathered into a silent, dark mass. Their muscular bodies, massive necks, and sharply curved horns firmly attached to the bony foreheads transformed each individual into a living fortress. Even more terrifying, they never fought alone. If one was separated, the entire herd would turn and use their sheer weight to crush any predator. But the relentless hunger of the dry season forced the lions to gamble with their lives. However, they were wise enough not to target the center. They observed an older buffalo slowing down at the edge of the herd. Nestled in the withered grass, the females spread out. When the young male charged, the buffalo unexpectedly counterattacked. It roared and furiously rammed its massive muscles into a cloud of red dust. Instead of stubbornly charging into death, they retreated, circling and forcing their opponent to constantly struggle to exhaust its strength. As soon as the heavy footsteps faltered, the two females clung to its flanks, while the young male's violent weight surged from behind, dragging the massive muscle mass down to the dry ground. The bloody feast taught the young kings a survival truth. Strength lies not in blindly never retreating, but in knowing when to retreat to deliver the finishing blow. The bloody victory brought them enough rewards to survive for many days to come. After the hunts, the territory gradually stabilized. The lionesses entered their breeding season. The mating season began. Soon after, the den system welcomed the tender cries of the next generation. The lionesses shared the tasks of hunting and raising the cubs, while the male alliance patrolled the borders, roaring to assert their dominance. Their reign is now deeply rooted in the heart of the savannah. A pride of lions is not just a group of animals hunting together. It is a society built on kinship, territorial defense, food sharing, and the care of the next generation. But on the savannah, lions are not the only species that turn the collective into a weapon. More silently, yet no less ruthless, forged from an absolutely unbreakable bond. Where the dawn casts a brilliant metallic sheen upon the vast grasslands, a troop of spotted coats emerges. These are the African wild dogs. On the edge of the wide grasslands, a pack of wild dogs rests under the sparse shade of trees. No individual is large enough to overpower a lion or a buffalo. But there is a little-known truth on the wild continent. The title of Supreme Hunter does not belong to those with the largest claws, but to the animals that operate collectively like a machine. With a prey-killing success rate of up to 90%, wild dogs are a true terror. This strength doesn't come from individual power, but stems from an unchangeable family code. Deep in the dark underground tunnels, the warmth of the pack shelters the future generation. The cries of the cubs are the supreme command compelling the adult warriors to bring back fresh meat. Their clever and persistent tactics are best demonstrated at dawn. Not far away, a herd of antelopes grazes peacefully, their fragile beauty making them the quintessential fugitives. Nature has endowed these herbivores with muscles as taut as a bowstring and an extremely sensitive hearing system that detects every movement of the wind. However, a distinctive scent in the air alarmed the pack of wild dogs. Without a sound or a haste, the pack of predators silently splits into small groups, quietly establishing a tight biological encirclement around their target. When the leader gives the silent signal, a storm of pursuit officially begins. Claws flash with unwavering determination, closing in on their chosen prey. In just a few short seconds, the antelope is completely exhausted and collapses, making way for a lightning-fast feast by the wild pack. In the kingdom of wild dogs, each member plays an inseparable role in a precisely functioning machine. Ironically, only about 6,600 individuals remain on the entire continent today, with a mere 1,400 of them of reproductive age. The threat of extinction looms large for this population. However, these dry statistics cannot fully capture the marvel of how they sustain life, make choices, and protect one another. But on the prairie, the scent of blood from the spoils quickly led to a giant, a large golden shadow darting through the tall grass. Faced with the overwhelming intruder, the pack of wild dogs immediately surrounded it, harassing it with barks and bites from all sides. Though they knew the fight to keep their prey was hopeless, their loyalty prevailed over their fear before they were forced to retreat. The prairie had no time for funerals. When darkness fell, the pack regrouped, silently moving through the dry grass as a unified whole. The pain of loss did not weaken them, but rather deepened a survival lesson. The pack only survives when they stand together. The dry season became increasingly harsh. The sun blazed, puddles evaporated, and prey migrated far away. The wild dogs had to walk dozens of miles each day across dried-up riverbeds. Their resilient feet, adaptable bodies, and unwavering spirit helped them withstand even invisible threats like disease. The instinct for mutual support is activated. The weak are given food, the sick are sheltered. Even though death may claim a few lives, the pack structure endures adversity thanks to its ultimate resilience. Under the full moon, the pack of wild dogs curls up in a tight circle. Their bodies touch, their breaths synchronized as if sharing one heart, seeking warmth and safety. Dawn will bring new hunts and dangers. Standing alone, they are vulnerable, but when united, they become invincible. African wild dogs are the most vivid embodiment of collective strength. Amidst the selfish world of countless species, they prove that true power does not belong to the largest fangs or the most powerful roar, but to the ability to endure and move as a single unit. But on the vast savannah, solidarity has never taken a single form, and wild dogs are certainly not the sole possessors of that weapon. Amidst the barren, dry grasslands, where the horizon stretches endlessly, an eerie sound emerges, unmistakably the laughter of hyenas. They possess a sound that drives others away. To humans, they are ugly and cowardly. On the savannah, they are branded as predators, but their existence is far more complex. While lacking the graceful movements of cats or the blistering speed of cheetahs, hyenas are fighters with boundless endurance and superior strategic thinking. The prejudice that they are cowardly scavengers preying on the fruits of others' labor is a great injustice. In reality, these animals are top-tier hunters with a lethality rate comparable to that of lions. Their eerie, chilling howl is not an act of cowardice, but a reflection of the most brutal laws of survival in nature. The spotted hyena empire operates under an absolute matriarchal system, with males holding the lowest status within the pack. This strict hierarchy transforms each tribe into a highly organized military force. While wild dogs bind together through coordinated movements and food sharing, hyenas maintain their strength through hierarchical relationships, social memory, and the ability to form alliances within the pack. Two different systems are vying for the same meal. A critical situation arises. A hyena is surrounded by a pack of wild dogs, and alone, it would be difficult for it to break through this elite army. But the hyenas, possessing terrifying laughter, will not allow that to happen. Its calls draw its companions. The balance shifts, and they begin to press the wild dog's defenses. Both sides struggle over the remaining meat. Then, simultaneously, both begin to realize their limits. To survive, wild dogs must retreat, and hyenas must stop pursuing if their prey has moved away from the carcass. Only these two predators are intelligent enough to understand that sometimes preserving one's life is more important than forcing the other to surrender. The first rains sweep across the cracked earth, signaling the return of a new season, the coming of spring. Life on the savannah is miraculously revived. In a hyena den, small cries emanate from beneath the ground. Hyena cubs are born with dark fur, open eyes, and fully developed teeth. From an early age, they begin to interact, compete, and learn their first positions in the social system in which they will live their entire lives. Here, a new generation learns not only how to hunt, they learn to recognize allies, who has the right to access food first, when to advance, and when to retreat. The rainy season blankets the once scorched lands with green grass. But this very resurgence also brings back the old forces. A deep roar echoes across the plains. The lion cubs are still present. But the lion cubs must now learn to hunt and detect the signs of strangers approaching from afar. Before facing greater threats, they need to have access to prey within their control. A warthog appears near the clearing. Sensing danger, the warthog frantically charges toward its den. A life-or-death chase unfolds in a flash. But a young lion is lying in ambush on the opposite side, blocking its escape route. The hunt ends quickly. Sometimes, such a perfectly sized prey is more than enough to sustain the entire pride for the next day, providing sweet milk to nourish the cubs and giving the tenacious male warriors the energy to guard their territory throughout the long night. The roar echoed again, but this time the savannah reserved its place for a legend written by a solitary individual. As darkness enveloped the savannah and the last copper rays of the setting sun faded, a silent phantom began its patrol. It was the honey badger, possessing a bite capable of shattering even the toughest turtle shell, something even the sharp fangs of a lion could not match. The honey badger was a perfect fighting machine, honed over millions of years of evolution. Its weapon was its long, curved claws, nearly 5 centimeters in length, used for tearing, ripping, and subduing prey. Yet, few would guess that the honey badger was quite small, only about 90 centimeters long and weighing between 9 and 16 kilograms. As the copper twilight faded over the wild savannah, this perpetually hungry predator began its familiar journey. It uses the night as a shield, employing silence as an ally to stealthily search and dig through the bushes, leaving no feast untouched. While smaller creatures retreat to their underground dens, the harsh sunlight of dawn belongs to a masterpiece of muscular evolution, the cheetah. At first glance, it seems almost too light to be a dominant predator. Its narrow chest, deep waist, small head, and long legs make its body distinctly different from the heavy build of a lion or the strong shoulders of a hyena. But the cheetah wasn't built for wrestling. Every detail of its body serves a shorter, faster, and more arduous task, pushing its entire body to its limits in a matter of seconds. Not far away, the Thompson's gazelles graze peacefully, completely oblivious to their impending death sentence. They lack large horns or the strength to counterattack, but possess a defense system built around speed and alertness. Their wide eyes constantly scan the grassland, their ears catch the slightest sounds, and the reaction of a single individual can cause the entire herd to sprint in the blink of an eye. The lone assassin began to approach, silently and stealthily, like a mist creeping through the grass, leaving not the slightest sound. When the distance reached the perfect limit, the silence was torn apart by a terrifying explosion of kinetic energy. It accelerated. Each stride magnified more than 6 meters, its claws digging into the dry ground like studs, gripping the target in pursuit. A dance of supreme technique and absolute precision. The antelope collapsed, its tusks precisely locking onto its target's airway. But the price for that incredible speed was a cruel biological trade-off. After the breathtaking burst of speed, the cheetah's body fell into a state of severe overload, its chest heaving, its heart pounding wildly, and its internal organs burning like a machine about to explode. It could not celebrate its victory. Standing beside its triumph, it was both the hunter and the helpless, utterly alone. That is the limit that comes with perfection. The cheetah is not the strongest creature on the savannah. It trades its muscular strength, fighting ability, and endurance for a short period of time that almost no other creature can match. And it is this paradox that concludes the picture of this land. Lions rise through alliances, wild dogs thrive through teamwork, hyenas rely on organization through complex relationships. The cheetah, however, places everything on a few seconds of explosive power from a solitary body. No species is completely superior. A large pack can help a group reclaim prey, but it also means they have to feed more mouths. Speed can end a hunt in the blink of an eye, but it leaves the victor exhausted right beside the reward. On the savannah, victory therefore takes many forms. That is the original beauty of the Serengeti. At dawn, the chessboard of life and death is rearranged. But when dusk falls, the positions of hunter and prey are reversed. Here, there is no eternal glory, nor is there an end to failure. The cycle of life and death continues relentlessly, coldly, proudly, without needing praise, and never stopping to shed tears of sorrow. It simply continues to flow. If you were placed on the fierce chessboard of life and death in the Serengeti, which way of survival would you choose? To become part of a close-knit tribe, relying on collective strength to crush every challenge, or to be a lone warrior, determining your own fate with your own speed and iron will? Leave your choice in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to join us in uncovering the next great epic chapters of the natural world. And now, goodbye and see you again.